All right, so good to have you back. It's still a weekend politics, and we're live here in Calabar. This is CRBC TV, channel 27. Now, sometime last year, June 26 precisely, a particular Christian set called the PFN had what we call the PVC service. And we had to speak with their number one leader of, to talk to us about the PVC service and all of that. And very recently, we saw a memo, directing, church leaders to go all out to mobilize their members to go tell their leaders and their members, all of them, to go get their PVCs. And we thought it very wise to ensure that we should reach out to the Christian community by inviting the first Pentecostal citizen here in Cross River State to come talk to us on how ready the Christian fold are as regards the 2023 general elections. And I have joining me Reverend Dr. Lawrence Ekwok. He is the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria Chairman, Cross River State Chapter. Good evening, Doctor. So good to have you join us.
Good evening. Thank you.
Now, I had to take us back to June 26th last year, because I remember you were here a week before to mobilize your men and women, men and brethren, to go register for their PVCs. I'd love to take you back. We'd love you to give us update on how, first, because before we go collect, I'm sure they must have registered. How did the PVC service go that Sunday, and how was the adherence thereafter?
It was most successful. It was not just on that Sunday. We made sure that our members across the state turned out in their numbers to register. We went as far as facilitating INEC officials to bring machines to specific areas, because some people were complaining of distances and so on. So we made sure that machines were arranged in strategic locations where so many of them had easy access to register. So we had a very successful outing. Yes, we did.
Okay. Now, let's look at, I'm sure that had to span for several months. Now, thereafter, the deadline was supposed to be today, not until we saw a message from INEC directing an extension for one more week. Now, let's look at this extension. How would the Christian community, take advantage of this window to ensure the next 7 days they all go out and collect their PVCs for those that registered?
Yes, really, for me, those who waited for this extension were not really committed, because there was sufficient time given. Although there are people with genuine excuses, there are some people who have been sending, messages to me to tell me the challenges they were going through. So it's understandable. But if you registered, early enough, your card should have been ready, for collection. So you didn't have to wait till the end of the period. As a matter of fact, I learned some cards that were registered, people that were registered in 2007, some of them are still uncollected, but we've done our job. We've mobilized the church. I can tell you, I have been chairman for 8 years. I've seen 3 elections. I've never done what I've done in this election. I have gone to the field, I've gone to the local governments, we've done our work. And the leaders have given us maximum support. So the church is fully mobilized, fully mobilized. For instance, in the church I pastor today, I asked them, the people who have not collected their PVCs, of the entire number, only 2 of them, and 2 of them were military officers' wives. And I said, look, tomorrow, even though I was joking, I said, tell your husband that I said they should give you 2 escorts, each of you, to go and collect your PVCs. If you don't get it, you have problems with me. So you can imagine that large place, just 2 persons. So we've achieved almost 90% target.
Okay.
And that's good for us.
Okay, now let's look at, because we started the collection several months back, and there's 1 week to go. And what difference would it make?
Yeah, it could make some difference. There are some people who still have challenges. We want to plead with them to take advantage of this. As a matter of fact, yesterday night, I had to send a message to all our leaders across the state, all of them, and say, take advantage of this extension, today being Sunday, just to make sure that everybody that needs to get their PVCs get theirs. And I believe they responded. So we have a way of reaching across to the entire leaders in all the state, across the state in a matter of minutes. So, and we did that, and this morning again there was a reminder, and I believe that our leaders have done what they needful. They've done the needful.
Okay. Now, Doctor, in less than a month from now, the Nigerians would be getting to the polls for the general election. Now, you superintend over a larger chunk, when it has to do with the Christian fold, the PFN here. Let's look at what's your own assessment of Christians' preparedness for these 2023 elections?
Like I mentioned, let me be particular about the organization I lead, the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, PFN Cross River State. I made a commitment as to how many people we're going to mobilize. And I can tell you that we may not have got the exact number we targeted, but certainly we've never had that level of mobilization. The church is one place that has always been docile when it comes to voting. But with the work we've done, there is, people are alert now, people are ready, people know the implication of voting and not voting. So the church is ready. Let me give you some instance. Just to make sure that our leaders are carried along, to make sure that our members are carried along, we have to give them opportunities to express their minds about who they think the PFN, for instance, should support. Because we want to make sure that all our votes go one way. I've had to tour the entire LGS to meet with all our leaders. To say, look, I don't want to influence you. Tell us who you think the PFN should vote for. And we've done all of that. In every LGA we got there, and I'm talking about the coordinators of those LGAs, the ESCO members of those LGAs, the ward leaders of those LGAs. And they gave us their mind. At the highest level here, I had to set up a 12-member strategy committee made up of pastors of the largest churches, pastors who are leading the largest churches in town. Some of them are leading over 300 churches. Some of them are leading 200, some of them 100, just like that. I put together 12 of them and asked them to interact with the governorship candidates. And they did. They interacted with 3 of them. And I said, okay, going by your interaction, do your votes independently and let us know who you think the PFN should support. So we've done all that so that you cannot say that, look, we are just sitting on the fence. And we do not want to impose anybody. When we finish from that, we got the leaders, 429 leaders across the state. When I mean, these are not church members, these are pastors. These are pastors. So I got 429 pastors to vote for who we should support. And they gave us their response. So we are aggregating all of this and we take a final decision. And that is how we are going to go. It doesn't matter what the outcome. Let it be that we played our own role. That's what we are set to do. It's never happened before. We've never done it before.
Does it seem to you that PFN is more like a lone voice in the wilderness in all of this that you're saying?
No, I don't want to speak for the other blocks.
Because there are 5 blocks that make up the
I don't want to speak for the other blocks. I don't know what they are doing.
Okay.
If I didn't tell you what I'm doing, you probably wouldn't know. Okay. So I don't know what they are doing. Okay. But I know, for instance, that CAN at the national level has given guidelines, which is what We followed. Even in our assessment of the candidates, of the various candidates, we are looking at capacity, we are looking at character, we are looking at, what's the other one? There are 3 of them, you know. Is it capability or something? We are looking at this. We are looking at your character, your background. We are looking at competence. We are looking at capacity, your ability to deliver. We look at your past, you know, assignments. We look at, who you are as a person. We look at your antecedents. These are the yardsticks for assessment. You know, so Khan says, follow this in your in deciding who the church should follow. So Khan has taken a position. They don't have to call a name, but with the guidelines you've given, even a blind man who can decipher what they are talking about, a deaf person can understand what they are talking about. So that is it. I don't know what the other people are doing, but I know that every Christian leader is up and doing now, because we know what we are going through. We know the challenge we are going through pastoring these people, because whatever affects them affects you. So we are totally committed to ensuring that we play our role.
Okay, so Doctor, in a scale of 10, how would you rate the assessment of the rate of mobilization coming from the Christian community, the leaders precisely?
You see, from what apart from the PFN which I lead, I have seen wonderful things. For instance, I've seen, you know, the Catholic Church, you know, priest even teaching people how to vote inside the church. I have seen some Catholic priests say, look, if you don't get a PVC, you won't get communion. I have seen all of this. I've seen Anglican do great job. So the church has simply worked, you know, for this election to succeed. They've contributed their quota. I believe that. And by the way, it's not every church leader that wants people to know what they are doing in secret. You know, there are some people who are working privately, who are working secretly, but they are working. You just must work, because this is not, you're not helping anybody. You're helping yourself and helping your children and helping your children's children. You understand? So you have no choice. Nobody's going to sit like this. Who is not feeling what you are going through now? You don't need anybody to tell you go and do what will help you. You're helping yourself. Yes.
Doctor, I would love to find out something from you, and it's simple. With the strength that you've been able to galvanize the body of Christ, does it seem that the body of Christ in Cross River State has been re-energized, re-gingered, that it cannot be looked down on, as it were, in yesteryears?
Well, like I said, I don't like to speak for any other.
In terms of PFN,
Yes, for PFN, no, there's no serious politician that does with PFN. No, they know. You can ask any of them. They know our capacity, and they know our readiness. They know. One of my pastors, one of my leaders, when one of the governorship candidates was invited for interactive session, and he told him, see, I'm telling you that I will give the chairman of PFN 300,000 votes alone, me alone, whoever he tells me to vote. And this is not a petty person. This is somebody controlling over 200 churches. And in the state. He told him, he said, listen, what he tells me to do is what I will do. I can tell you that this number is intact for whoever he says. And this is a church that they listen to their leader. What he says, that's what they will do. So, I mean, nobody knows what we are doing and will toy with us. You know? So, that is it.
Okay. So, in your words, clearly, the Christian community is fully ready for this election.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we're going to make a difference.
Okay.
I guarantee you will see clearly. You will see it.
I'd love you to comment on this issue of the new redesigned Naira note. I'm sure that in a way has its own effect on the churches. I took a news item yesterday that some mega churches, have told their members not to even come with the old Naira note anymore. But I'd love to get your comments. You superintend over a large chunk of Christians in Cross River State. Talk to us about the new redesigned notes.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Everybody who has some knowledge of what happens in this country knows that the amount of money some people have packed and kept in certain places is more than what is in the banks. That's the truth. That is the truth. Except we are pretending. If you know it, you know it. There are people who have had to, there are things I can't say here, what I know. People have had to burn money that got bad in certain places that they kept. That is the truth. So, and most of this money is kept so that they use it in buying votes in elections. So clearly, it will help the system. And that's why they are choking. That's why there's this trouble. So it's a beautiful experience. It's affecting all of us. I came back from Abuja yesterday. I had no dime on me. That is by way of cash. I didn't have cash. They sent people to see if they could get cash. But God just helped me last minute. Somebody helped me with some cash. So it's affecting people. They say that in the markets, the women are not accepting the old money again, and then the new money is not available. It is challenging, but it's a price we'll have to pay for a better tomorrow. Yeah, so I support it absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. Yes, it will help us.
Okay, another national issue I'd love you to talk on, that should be the last but one question before I let you go. You're a very busy man. And let's look at the lingering fuel crisis in Nigeria. How is that affecting the Christian community?
Well, Christian community members are in Nigeria now, so we don't live in it. We are not yet in heaven. But it's a very embarrassing situation. Honestly, nobody will want to. If you read the book written by Okonjo Iweala, is it Fighting Corruption? You will know the real problem of fear. I mean, the challenge with fear in Nigeria. Just get that book and read. Fighting corruption is dangerous, something like that.
Corruption will also fight back.
Yes, so read it and you will know what we are going through. They know. It's greed, it's wickedness. You see, I tell people that you can make money and not hurt people so much. But when you make money you want to make money to a point that people suffer this way, that's wickedness. That's no longer corruption. That's wickedness. And God will judge wickedness. Look at what people are going through. Just because a few persons want to make money. That's all right. So, and that's why we are totally committed to this process. Look, let's do our bit so that tomorrow we don't say, let us play our part by voting who we believe, will help the system. Whether he wins or not, let it be that you've done your bit. Yes. When I do exams, I learned a philosophy early in life in my secondary school that you cannot do better than your best. So whenever I'm writing exams, I prepare sufficiently. All my exams, whether from secondary school, diploma, first degree, second degree, PhD and all that, I do my best. And when I do my best, whatever is the outcome, I am satisfied that I've done my best. But if I did not prepare enough for any exams and I don't do well, I get angry with myself. But if I'm sufficiently prepared and then whatever is the outcome, I know that I've done my best. So we will do our best. We will play our part by making sure that we lead our people to vote people that we know are in a position to help the system. Whether they win or not, we've done our best. And it's on record.
Doctor, let's get your last word for Christians as regards the PVC collections. We have just one more week added. And finally, on the 2023 general elections.
We are begging Christians in Cross River State. We are begging every person, go and get the PVC. By all means, keep it. And by the way, PVC is not only for elections. You can use it in your bank transactions. You can use it in identifying yourself in several other places. So it's something that will help you in many ways. So, but get it When you get it, that gives you an opportunity to be able to decide who should lead you, who should be governor of Cross River, who should be president of Nigeria, who should go to House of Assembly, who should go to House of Reps, who should. So it is important that you have it. You cannot continue to be docile and sit on the fence and begin to lament and say that the votes will, no, the votes will count. The votes will count this time. So don't sit down there and say it doesn't matter whatever they will decide. No, it will not. It will not happen that way. We are not just mobilizing people to vote. We have people that we are training people to be in the polling units. We are training people to be in polling units. So nobody will come and carry anything and run away. No, it won't happen again. So that is it. Okay. I appeal to our people, go and you may spend an hour, 2, 3, 4. It's not bad. It's a sacrifice. Do that to get your PVC, so as to be able to contribute your quota towards solving the challenge of this country and our state in particular. Reverend Dr. Lawrence Epoch, PFN Chairman, Cross River State, I must thank you so very much indeed for your time on the show to talk on the mobilization of Christian Fold for the next 1 week to get their PVCs. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
We really hope to have you as we get closer to the election proper.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, so Weekend Politics will go on a very short break. I'll be back with the next set of our guests, and they are ready in the studio. Don't go anywhere.